Welcome everyone, and in today's video we're going to talk about the 4 steps to build a strong personal brand. So let's get into the video. Briefly, I just want to mention on what exactly is a personal brand. And personal brand is pretty obvious. It's something that you create and use your name as a brand. So pretty much like I'm doing on YouTube, just using my name to create a brand around myself, around my values, about my interests, around my expertise, and around the value I provide to the outside world. It can be in written form, it can be in a video form like I do right now, it can be speaking engagements, it could be writing, it could be pretty much everything that you can imagine. It could be books, it could be ebooks, it could be courses. There are so many different variations of creating a personal brand, but in the last decades, we've been bombarded by these marketing messages and having these associations about the brands that we have. So honestly, there's not a lot of differentiation between brands in a specific niche and specific target audience that we have. And this notion of actually starting creating a personal brand started expanding more and more, especially with the use of social media and Instagram and YouTube and all the major social medias, for example, on LinkedIn as well, and just people having their expertise and creating a following around who they are and what they want to share to the outside world. I think it's super valuable that people are creating audiences around themselves, because the best way to be true to yourself is to be yourself to the fullest of your potential, and the comfortability of actually creating all the messages and showing yourself who you are and opening yourself to the outside world. But that is actually both the biggest struggle for people to actually showcase who they are, but also at the same time, this is the biggest differentiator around the niche that you're trying to get into or to become popular or an expert in. So I think it's something that a lot of people should actually start thinking about, maybe play around a little bit, test out whether that's something that they think is valuable to them, or maybe just out of pure fear to create and start creating and just overcoming their challenges, overcoming their fears on who actually they are and just showcasing themselves to the world. So let's get into the steps without any delay anymore. And the first step is to choose a niche. And this is something that is very specific to the personality and to who you are, into the previous work that you've done to the outside world, into the previous career that you had. Just keep in mind that you know and you have all the answers around what exactly you want to do, what exactly you're good at, and where you want to develop yourself and where you see yourself in 5 to 10, 20 years, 30 years. So think around those terms. This is the straightforward answer to choosing a niche, but also maybe kind of relating to the SEO, the long tail keyword that you have on Google, and the easier it is for you to be targeted and the better it is for you to actually create an audience. To put that into a summary, it's so much easier to become that social media marketing guy that knows social media in real estate for that particular state in the US, let's say, or in that area that you live around, instead of just trying to gain momentum and gain expertise and gain viewership or even audience, just being the social media guy or the girl. So keep that in mind. It's something that is valuable. It's something that needs to be tested out and something that you need to have like a real conversation with yourself. Where do you see yourself and what is the timeline of your life? And start, honestly, this is like a little golden nugget inside, is start thinking in life on a long-term basis. Like I said in a previous video, think in 5 to 10 year periods. Think on where do you want to go in 10 years, like in your investments, in the long-term investments that you have, for example, in S&P. It will create so much differentiation between yourself and longevity, and actually brings a different perspective into what you want to achieve. And actually there is going to be a little more calmness and less pressure and stress around what you're trying to achieve, let's say in the next 6 months. And think about long terms and think about the legacy, think about who you want to be known as. And yeah, everyone, I think, just coming from my own personal experience, everyone has their point of view of who they want to become and how they see themselves in the next 5 to 10 years. So think around that, and let's go to the next. The second step is to create content. And creating content can be in a different mediums, like I said previously. Think about your interests, think about your desires and interests and where do you want to develop yourself. For example, personally, for me, I never done YouTube. This is something that I've been delaying for a big amount of time and for so many years. And this is something that I want to start doing. I want to start experimenting to actually have the feedback and go through the process of actually learning how to do videos, how to record voice, how to edit and everything like that. So this for me is a challenge. And that's why I'm doing these video interviews. I want to face my fears and become a better person. Think about what actually drives you, what actually you're good at. So for example, you can be perfect in writing articles, you can be a master of writing essays and or just creating videos, and you can be super calm in front of a camera. Just think around those terms. And also, like I said, think about longer periods of time in the future of how you see yourself. So maybe having that specific experience and that starting point and actually creating the content, let's say just creating YouTube videos, are going to help you prepare you to the next step in life and to the next achievement that you're planning for yourself. And the whole idea around creating content is you have to be helpful, you have to provide value, you have to be honest, you have to be transparent. People are going to see through, let's say, the lies. I don't want to use a harsher word, but if you're open, if you come from experience, and if you're approachable and people can actually relate to your story and to who you are, they're going to connect with you and you're going to actually start creating that audience. You start having this bigger impact into a smaller community and a bigger community afterwards. So there's going to be a benefit to yourself and there's going to be a benefit to the world around you. So just be honest, be transparent, be trustworthy, and also come from the heart, open up your heart to the outside world and provide your perspective and your ideology and everything that you actually can provide to the outside world that actually going to be beneficial to them. So think in terms of value. And this is the second step. The third step is to show expertise. I know a lot of people, especially younger people, are going to be coming to social media. They're going to be coming to LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, and everything like that they don't have any expertise in that particular niche. But think about how you're actually going to create that brand around your name. Think about what actually is quote unquote expected of you to do further down in your career. Maybe it's being a TV host, maybe it's writing a book, maybe it's having your own course, maybe it's speaking in front of our audience on a live event. Just think about those terms. How do you see yourself? Maybe look around in the industry that you're interested in. Where are people actually going further ahead down the line? And this is going to just show you a different perspective, and then you're going to be so much more engaged and so much more interested in the steps and actually trying to achieve that steps. And this is, I think, the most valuable process, actually enjoying I wouldn't say the struggle, but enjoying the process of actually doing the work, see how different things actually happen, testing out different strategies, testing out different videos, testing out different content, and see what resonates to people. Maybe it's relating to a specific time that you post, maybe it's relating to the actual content, maybe you haven't been 100% honest to the audience that you're creating. Keep all those things in mind. It's a pretty straightforward idea of actually what you can do further ahead down the line in your expertise to actually showcase yourself as an expert in a particular niche. Maybe you're an expert dancer and you started with TikTok, and now you can go for, I don't know, you can go for dance competitions and everything like that. But keep that in mind, and let's go to the next. The fourth step to create a strong personal brand is to continue learning. And I think this is more of a mindset change. I guess some people are more inclined to actually be the lifelong learners, to be that person that is always scratching that itch of actually getting more information, learning more stuff around in specific topic, in specific industry, target audience. And this comes, I think, as the differentiator of the people that actually are not learning and that just consuming content. This comes back to the whole creating of a personal brand. So the more perspectives that you have, the more lessons that you learn from different people. And I guess for different people can be different. Some people are more inclined to test out specific things and see whether they work in a practical manner. Some people can actually learn from others without going through a specific process, right? So my effort in finalizing these 4 steps is to continue to learn, to continue adding more and more perspective to your own understanding of a target audience, a specific niche, and provide those lessons and the value that you can to the outside world and the audience that you're creating. I think being interested in different things and having a little expertise in different areas is something that is getting more and more beneficial to the outside world, and actually people can relate to who you are. So if you showcase different sides of who you are, not just in one niche, it's going to be a little bit of a different perspective to the outside world. To finalize the fourth step, I want just to mention that learning never ends. And if you're doing what you love, if you're doing something that you're interested in and you see yourself doing it for long periods of time in your life, it's not going to be a struggle. It's something that you're interested and inclined to do anyway. So keep that in mind. Go for the first step, start a journey, figure out what you want to start in terms of a medium, figure out your niche, and start testing out. If you have any questions around all the 4 steps, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll answer as soon as I can. Thanks a lot everyone for watching. These have been the 4 steps to create a strong personal brand. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I'll see you next one. Wowza.